got 6:30, so we'll call the meeting to order. We can start with the pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Do we have any additions to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, then I'll look for motion to approve the agenda as presented. Give it a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. Now we will open up for public comments. If there's anyone who would like to discuss anything not on the agenda, now would be a great time. Seeing no one rush up, we will close public comments and move to the consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that needs to be pulled or further discussed? Keep in mind now staff reports are for Public Works and City Engineer are now part of the consent agenda. So if there's anything someone would like to further discuss on that. If not, then I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. To City Administrator.
Yes, this visit was scheduled prior to my arrival. Ms. Heidi Hawks is here tonight to give a presentation about the library system. Please go ahead.
And thank you very much for allowing me to come tonight. Carver County Library is very proud to have the mayor. Express Library is part of our libraries. Just a little bit about Carver County Library itself. You'll notice this last year we have our annual report before you. One page, back to back, but chock full of good information. We try to keep it short because you have a lot of things to do. And so this allows you to be able to get the really highlights of the library system and to know a little bit more about us and what's going on with us. Rick?
Yeah.
The Cologne Express, the Mayor Express was put in as our second express library, and it is a very popular library. We had hoped last year that we would be able to speed along the process to get a locker unit, an additional locker unit. In here, we have to custom build it. So we're waiting for a little bit more money to come into one bank account, and we're going to be working on getting more lockers here. You have 10 lockers. Most of our express libraries have 20. We just didn't have the room. But we think that with this custom built, we'll be able to have the room to expand that, which will be great. Right now, families are all putting all their books in one locker unit, so the lockers are very full. So you use our facility very nicely. And not only the lockers do you use, but also when you look to the outside of your building, you use the library return quite a bit, and it's been a wonderful addition so that people don't have to worry, as I've been told, about getting late fees, because they can put them in there and they're backdated. Once a week we pick it up and then we backdate everything that's in the bin, so you don't have to worry about those late fees. Well, we need to come over and have a talk about that, and we're hoping that will be done. Last year we ran into a bug. It was called CACBOT, and it affected the whole county, the county government system, and it put us behind with our RFID process. And right now we're working on RFID, trying to get that installed. And once that's installed, then we can start going out and doing some of the things we've wanted to do, including increasing the mayor locker units. And we'll have to determine at that point where they'll be placed. So, but it's an extremely popular service for us in this county. Now, Carver County Library is a 6 full-service library system with 4 express libraries. And because you're a part of a county system, you have access to not only the books in Watertown or the books in Waconia or Norwood, which are the closest to you, but to the books in the whole county system. And you also are able to get more books throughout the county system because we do group purchases, bulk purchases of books, programming supplies, and so on. And even if you don't check out materials and have them in the locker units, if you go online and you look at our e-resources, you might check out e-books, e-audiobooks, and e-magazines. And we have a number of people who use that service because it's just, there's so many wonderful things that are available in that service because you're part of the county system. However, our e-audio and e-book collection is not only funded by us at the county, it's also funded by MELSA, Metropolitan Library Services Agency, of which Carver County is a part, and because of that, you have even more resources available to you on e-books, e-audio, that you can actually check out. And there, when you check out an item onto your device, whether it's an iPad, whether it's your desktop computer, whether it's your phone, when you check out that item, when it's time for that item to be returned, it magically returns itself. There is not any chance of getting an overdue in this scenario. However, I also have to tell you that being a part of MELSA means that you can borrow materials from all across the state. So, way up in Ely to way down in Harmony, from west to east. It's a wonderful service that allows you access to so many things, including reference information. Again?
I think I got it up there already.
Okay. A lot of things happened this last year that were quite incredible and were our highlights. But in 2016, we noted a number of things that were highlighted that were especially great for us, and I'm just going to do a couple, 1 to 2 in each category. This first one, our new website, which has been so much easier for people to navigate, and it's so much easier on the eyes because the font is larger. We've had people that have said, finally I can see what's on this website. And that's important. If you can't see, you can't use a website. So we've been very happy for that. We've made sure that the contrast is more distinct, so it's also more visual. A number of things with the website, so we're very proud of that because it serves our people better. And you'll notice this MELSA Smart Pass, and you have a ticket right in front of you. Our MELSA Smart Pass is patterned on the museum pass that we had a few years ago, and what we've done is we've gone to cultural places in the Twin Cities, places like the Guthrie, Children's Theater, musical venues, the concerts that are held downtown by Minnesota Orchestra, any number of places, as well as some museums, as well as some zoos that are available. All you have to do is go on to either our website or and click on the SmartPass icon, or go to the smartpass.melsa.org website, and you can do the same thing. With your library card, you can get 2 free passes to any event that's listed there. It'll give the dates, it'll give the time. It's a great way. I think, Eric, I was talking to you earlier about these kids that got to go to the Children's Theater and see some wonderful things free of charge. So it's a great thing. I do want to advise you, though, we just heard today that with all good things, people try to muck it up. Just mess around with it. We had some hackers that were in there, and they actually were, you get assigned so many passes a month that you can use for any one venue. Well, they got in there and they hacked it so that they could get many, many passes per month. You know, people try to ruin it for other people. So right now we've got the Nerdery, which is the company that designed this website. We've got the Nerdery working on a fix for it. So just to let you know, it'll say it's under construction or maintenance right now, and that's the reason, because they're trying to correct something that somebody tried to do bad things to, so we couldn't enjoy it. So, but we're going to make sure that you get to enjoy it, so we're going to fix it. So, if you look at the next slide, which is spaces, 2 of our libraries had a number of projects this year, and we were very happy to accomplish them. Your sister library down the road, Waconia, recarpeted. That was done courtesy of the city, but we also created a library maker space in the children's room, and then one of our teen room was converted to a library activity room. And you'll note as you go in, classes on robotics that are in that room for teens, classes on 3D printing that you'll have for all age groups, even Lego stop motion at movies. They're even on our Facebook page. We have the movies on our Facebook page. I know because I've watched them several times. The kids that come in and do these movies do a phenomenal job. And these kids are anywhere from ages 10 to 18. And they're just having a great time doing that. And the adults that are in there supervising them and teaching them are having a great time interacting with them. So they get to build things with the Legos, and then they get to make this movie with a green screen behind it. And it's amazing, all the fight scenes and sword scenes and action kinds of things that happen in that maker space or in that activity room because of that. Next slide is on our programming. There's a number of things here. I think the one that I really want to call your attention to, though, was the Veterans Program that we held this last year. We actually had a series. The first one featured author Wendell Field, who gave a speech at the Chanhassen Library, and there were 47 veterans that attended that speech, and it was in a terrible storm. I just assumed nobody was coming, and that wasn't true at all, and they stayed the entire time. Wendell Field wrote the book Muddy Waters, which was about his experience as a soldier in Vietnam, and then the next day he presented at the Waconia Library a writers group. So veterans were encouraged to come and to write about their experiences, and they did. There were, I think, 25 that came. And what was amazing about that was the number of guys that just stopped, and, you know, they had to compose themselves because they were so emotional. And at the end, one of the guys came up to our library manager and said that he had written about things and gotten things off his chest that he had never told his wife. And he said, I just couldn't tell anybody, but finally I felt okay because he was this guy who had written about it, and he was right there and encouraging me, and I could do it. And he said, maybe I'm going to tell her when I go home. So, next slide. We were very happy. We're a small system in the state of Minnesota, but we do pretty well for a small system. We had several awards last year, one of our county volunteer, coordinator won, the County Peer Award for Innovation, and, from our Chaska Library Friends, the first time that the Minnesota Association of Library Friends gave out a Standout Friends Member Award, it was given out to Mary Kvitic. And so, I mean, people from all over the state, from Duluth, from St. Paul, from Hennepin County, were putting up their Friends of the Library, and Carver County's Mary Kvitic from Chaska won that award. And just down the road again, Waconia won the Minnesota Book Awards Shelfie Award. First time that's ever been given out. The Shelfie Award is for excellence in displays. So that was won by the Waconia Library, and specifically Marla Westfield and Crystal Murillo. And you probably have seen Crystal if you've been around when those lockers are being loaded, because that's her main thing that she does, is load our Express Library lockers. Okay, and the next slide, please. So let's look at your statistics. So you came, and I'm sorry, you were the third one that came on in 2012, but your statistics at 1,161 circulations or checkouts surpassed Cologne's, and Cologne has 20 lockers. So you can see what you're doing, and the same is true of Carver. But you can see how well you're doing with that. And we have a number of people from this area that now use our e-books and our e-magazines. So the competition that we have here is mainly with the e-resources, but that means that people are still getting those books and magazines and so on. So next slide. What's next for our Express Library? Well, this year we hope to come out here and for this library, Express Library, to increase it. But we're also doing a study right now that the circulation supervisors are conducting on circulation, how we can best get out to the public in your various areas, in your various communities, to let people know about what's available and what you'd like to see as far as what we have available for you. So if you have any questions, I certainly can take those. We're very proud to be here. Yeah. How long have you been with Carver County Library? I was the branch manager of the Western Libraries from 2007 till 2014, the end of 2014. When I took this job, I was promoted up to the directorship. During that time, we opened this Express Library. We opened the Cologne Express Library, and we opened the Victoria Express Library. And just right after I took over the directorship, we opened the Carver Express Library. So, yeah, it is. I think probably it's going to be 2018 because we still have to finish the RFID project. Last year we hit the glitch with the CACBOT virus. This year we're hitting a glitch with the upgrade of our Sierra program, which is our circulation program. Disconnected our receipt printers, and it doesn't seem to want us to connect them right now. But we think we've got it solved with a lot of talk with the company and with our IT department. But it's still going to take some time. And of course, we're right now going into the busiest time of our year, which is the summer reading program. So it'll probably be early 2018. Mhm. Uh-huh. Thank you.
Sure. Came to my attention that the fire department is in need of replacing 2 radios, and, I guess there was some thought that it was supposed to be addressed at the May 8th meeting, but that didn't occur. Recognizing the importance of radios for emergency services, and having, been a firefighter myself, I felt it was important that, we move forward on this issue and not wait for another council meeting, because time was of the essence. And so, I did, acknowledge that my purchasing authority is up to $5,000, so I really wasn't in a position to make this decision all by myself. I did contact the mayor, and he agreed with my recommendation that we should proceed on placing the order. And so the order was placed approximately a week and a half ago, and I think for record-keeping purposes, we probably should, authorize this purchase, retroactively.
Yes, it's, like you said, it was a little bit of an oversight, given that fire chief had contacted me the day after it get approved, we need to get these, so, in some of that conversation, then we talked about, obviously, the purchasing thing, where we could do one day and,
Yeah.
the next day and still be well within our limits, so we decided, order, just, this was a public safety issue, so, just a little more background on that. So I'll look for motion to approve the prior administrative action of purchasing the 2 radios from Motorola Solutions for the fire department.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second? Any further discussion on that? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And number 7, there was on the packaging of the other, that,
Congratulations on your certificate.
yeah, that was wonderful. Good for you.
Very, worthwhile training session, so lots of
Yeah.
various seminars, but, yeah, it was good.
I'm sure a long week and a lot of information in that week, but good for you. Okay, council reports, any council reports there, committee meetings? Right.
We have a meeting for the park board tomorrow, it's a special meeting. We were talking about initially doing the 5K during the Rising Community Festival, and then we found out that, the high school was gonna be doing a 5K that day, and we didn't want it to interfere. So she had come to talk to the park board meeting a couple weeks ago, and, wanted assistance with financing, working together in assistance in financing the 5K. And it was unanimous that we just couldn't spend that money, especially with restrooms and shelter and everything coming up. So, but we did say that since we already put down a $300 non-refundable fee for the timer, that, yeah, we can share the timer with them. But then it came back to us that she was able to get the $3,000 waived. So she's gonna come tomorrow, the park board's gonna be discussing tomorrow what the city involvement's gonna look like and more details of the park board.
Has there been much, feedback on sponsorship for that? I know some letters went out to the business, have we heard back?
Yeah, I've been getting the checks in,
Oh, so there has been, okay, good.
6 or 7 or 8 of them.
Oh, that's great, okay. So I'll work into it somehow if it's a joint. Perfect, okay, good. Good. Anything else?
Other than the fact that we adopted a part of the trail,
Yep, I saw that, that's great.
in Germany, so, when we get more information, the park board will.
Yeah, when the park were to try to get further down, Laconia,
They have.
park board is. So, that's good, that's great. And certainly as they get out there for cleanup, let people know, and maybe if you need some additional support. All right, any other business? Did you know anything else, Kyle?
I should just comment, the mayor and I met earlier tonight, talked about a couple of items, and I think we're gonna schedule a workshop sometime maybe at the first meeting in June, we'll get back into the practice of maybe having one of those a month, you know, following, the regular city council meeting. Second, right now, we're just a little light on, IT support, so we've made some inquiries and we're, bringing in a firm out of Norwood. What's the name again? Yeah, Mayor Luther uses them, and the person we had been working with in the past is really not available anymore, so this particular firm works with about 6 or 7 different municipalities in this part of the metropolitan area, and even one in Sibley County, so we're gonna have them address some nagging issues immediately, and then I've asked for a proposal to firm up the relationship in terms of support. It'll be more cost effective if we rely upon a contract more so than a per call type situation, so that I have to admit that's one characteristic qualification I did not bring to the job. I was hoping Kyle could fill that, or Janelle, but again, there's enough, I think, to warrant having someone come in and take a look at it. Jerry, the former mayor, he works with them up at the high school and recommended them, so just, yep. And, yep. So, I did contact them last week, because we just needed to get someone in here to deal with some issues that have jumped up in the last week or two. I should comment too, that given I've recruited, city administrators in the past, I'm very impressed with Gary's, results to date. Again, that doesn't speak to the quality issue, but there is some quality and quantity, if you can follow that thinking. 23 plus applicants in a week and a half is pretty good. So I was telling the mayor, I thought out of that, you can assume 5, 6 fairly strong candidates. And, there'll be some non-traditional candidates, but that's well worth having them apply. There's a lot of people that maybe will take a non-traditional route to becoming a city manager, so I was pleased to see that.
Good, all right. Thanks, Rick. We'll look for a motion to adjourn. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned.
I do like short meetings.